I feel better today.
Good.
I still sound pretty terrible.
How was preschool graduation? The
It
pictures.
was fine. It
Did you
was
make it
good.
through?
I made it through. I was not devastated. I mean, I was. I was sad, but I just can't believe it's over.
I don't know.
I'm in
Let me see.
denial.
I got your notes. I pulled them up.
That's what I was
Well,
printing.
Nancy. Also, tying into our notes for this episode, yesterday I was in the most Nancy Meyers house I've ever been in my life.
Was this like the stone steps that you posted a picture of?
Okay, so let me set the stage for you here. I'm trying to do a garden shoot. So I was looking for like a spring blooming garden. I've tapped all of my resources. Coming up short, I head to Instagram and I find a garden club and I get in touch with this woman. And her house is incredible. I pull up and I'm just like, where am I? This is beautiful. And she had sent me pictures of her garden like in the back, so I knew what to expect. Well, I knew what to expect in air quotes because you're never
Yeah.
prepared for these homes. Um, so I knew like what I was going there to shoot, but I didn't know what else was going to be around it. So I pull up and I see those steps. Just like, am I in heaven? This is gorgeous. It's so beautiful. Even like the not the part that we were there to shoot was beautiful. So we were there, we got everything in the garden. She had I'm pretty sure that they were wisteria arches. Um, Stunning. Everything was perfect. And then she was like, "Oh, you might want to come inside because I have this like breakfast room with these French doors. Maybe you could get a shot from like inside going outside." Yes, please. So we go in. Her home is stunning. And it's palatial to say the least, but so inviting and warm and the most like welcoming place I've ever been in my life. And she was so gracious, like that's the only word I can think of to describe her. And she follows me on Instagram, so she might listen to this podcast. I don't know if she will or not, but if you do, your home was amazing. Anyway, she took me on a tour and every single little bit was just so well thought out. And I did ask her if she'd used a designer or if she'd done it on her own. And she said that she's used a few different designers throughout the years because I think they've been there for like 20 years or so. But the windows had like the black, is it a frame? It's not a
Yeah.
frame. What's it called?
Like the little things
The
inside
panes.
the
Yes.
panes.
Yeah.
No, the
Not
panes
the
are
panes of
glass.
glass.
I know what you mean. I can't think of the
Yes.
name.
I don't know what the word is, but they were black windows. Um, Lots of neutrals. The cabinetry in the kitchen was black. She had her pots hanging over her stove. It was
I love
just
that.
so elevated but comfortable. Um, and it was just amazing.
I'm
Like,
trying to look up the parts of a window.
yeah. Casing? No.
Casing is part of why are all these blurry? Is this just because I'm 40?
Do we need to get you some reading glasses?
Probably.
Peepers, do you want to sponsor our podcast?
I might
Um,
need them. The casing is the outside.
okay.
Okay, this says how to say this word. The inside pieces,
Hmm.
muntins, muntins, muntin.
That sounds about right. I don't know, but that's how I would say that word if I was reading it.
Okay, now this diagram says grill, which makes more sense to me.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call it a grill.
No, because that's what you cook on or what you have in your teeth.
All of those trap music people had grills.
Do they crump? Do you know what crumping is?
Okay, I saw this TikTok this morning and I almost sent it to you and said if we ever go fishing together, it was two girls on a boat and they had this big catfish and whoever was filming them goes, "Girls, throw it back." And they both start like she's like, "No, throw the fish back." I laughed so hard.
hysterical.
Girls, throw it back. Okay. No, no, like throw the fish back. I don't know what it's called, but it's just it was a Nancy Meyers set if I have ever been on one, and I thought this is what I want my home to feel like, and I don't know how to do that.
Yes.
Although I lean really coastal in my colors. She was not. Now, she did have a bowl in her living room. There was a bowl of sand dollars, and she had a horseshoe crab under this like the glass coffee tables that have like two layers to them.
Yes.
The bottom layer had a horseshoe crab and a bowl of like sea urchins.
Oh.
And she said that they had gotten them in the Bahamas. I was like, that is the ultimate way to
So
live.
she had all this sort of like black framing, but
Yes.
what like were her walls
Her
neutral? What
walls were
other
neutral. Yes, lots of
what other
neutrals,
or
neutral furniture.
furniture?
She did have in her breakfast nook, it was a black table with orange leather chairs.
Oh.
Now, when I say I can't say that word, Chad always makes fun of the way how I say that particular color, orange. Anyway, they weren't like neon or bright, but it was just
Yeah.
almost like a burnt, sort of
They
really
had an
pretty.
orangey tone.
Yes.
Okay, my friends also make fun of the way I say that word.
How do you say it?
Well, I say it super southern, orange, orange. And these are my friends who are from Michigan and they're like,
This is
orange? And I'm like, no, it's
yeah,
orange. And they're like, how
yeah.
do you spell orange?
That's what Chad says. He says I put too many syllables, and I'm like, well, how are you supposed to say orange? Like I
Mm,
can't. Orange.
orange.
I
Like the
can't.
word crayon.
Yeah.
Some people say it crayon. Crayon?
Ugh. That makes my
Crayon?
skin crawl. Crayon.
Crayon?
Crayon. Mm-mm.
No.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. I'm going way down the rabbit hole again.
But it was just, oh, so with the black cabinetry, I wouldn't have thought that's what I would have wanted. I don't know if I would or if I do, but it felt beautiful in her home. And there were open cabinets like with the glass so you could see all the pretty things. And she
Uh-huh.
waterfall marble island.
Ooh.
And I would just like to say that this was not like a spacious kitchen. It was stunning and beautiful. But when you think of like Instagram, like new construction kitchens that are like bigger than my house,
Yeah.
it had a cozy feel to it. And it was wonderful.
Okay. I really need to see some of this black cabinetry because so my kitchen cabinets are white,
Okay.
island is black, and
Hmm.
all of our bathroom cabinets are black.
Oh,
And I don't quite know what to do with that
yeah.
because it's not necessarily what I would have
Right.
chosen.
You're like, I wouldn't have picked this.
But I'm also like I've toyed with the idea of painting the island blue, of course, several
Yes.
times. But I just feel like I'm going to forever be touching it up if I paint it
Oh, maybe.
because it's in the center of the kitchen and my house is open concept and I have 3 kids and 2 dogs and it's going to
Exactly.
constantly get dings.
Yes.
So,
Painting cabinets is hard too.
and painting cabinets is hard. And I
Like
don't want to
it's
do
to do it well, to make it last, and to make it look good.
I need some inspo for keeping my black cabinets.
Yeah,
But it sounds beautiful. It sounds like a
it
dream.
was stunning, and
I,
I love it. It was so pretty, and it made such a case for me. I know that we talked recently about how I hated Pinterest because I didn't want Pinterest to get any credit for what I was doing. And I think in the same way, I almost felt like, I mean, I'm like, if I use a designer, does that take away from me? But it really doesn't. I don't think that it does. But it made a really strong case for like having someone else come in
yeah.
and look at your space.
But I do really understand that feeling of I just want to do it myself.
I want to do it myself. And then I recently read a Substack, Samantha Varvel. Varvel? Is that her last name?
Uh-huh.
Varvel. Anyway, she did not use a designer and she talked about her process and like finding the things that she loved. And I, I don't know, there's such a strong case for both of them. But her home was just beautiful. Just goals. I feel like this job, while incredible, is giving me lots of things to work towards or ideas of things that I'm like, yes, this. Sometimes you go in a home and you love it and it doesn't feel like you. We talked about
Yeah.
this with style too, how you can put on something that feels like a costume or what have you. Um, I've walked into many homes where I can objectively say that it's beautiful, but
Yeah.
it's not my style or it doesn't feel like me. Um, this also goes back to our wedding dress talk of like what you think that you want versus what you want. But I walked in this home and it's not, I wouldn't have picked it out for myself. I would have been like, no, I wouldn't have done that, or I would have wanted it a different way. But it felt so good. And I was like, I could live. I'm not talking space wise. I'm just
Yeah.
talking feel wise. Felt so good and
Yeah.
comfortable. And I was like, I could live in this house. It feels like me. Um, which was really weird because I've just been leaning so blues and greens, and there was not a block print in sight, which is weird for me to say I want to live there. There's no block print. Um, but yeah, I think it's so interesting how you can appreciate different things, and sometimes they feel like you, and sometimes they feel not like you at
Yeah.
all.
I love how you keep saying how the house felt instead of just like,
Yeah.
oh, it looked like this or it looked like that or um because I think that's what's so important when you are
But yeah, how a home feels is so important, and you can feel happy and calm and peaceful, or you can feel stressed
yeah,
depending on what is in there. And that's really important to me. I want someone to walk into my home and feel happy and safe and comforted and like
yeah,
want to be here.
yeah.
No bad vibes.
No bad vibes. And just like sit down and cozy up on the couch and
Right.
yeah,
Like you can she had like loafers on in her house. And I think at least for me growing up, I had so many friends, parents, or my mother was not crazy. But like I don't remember her telling me I couldn't wear shoes in the house. But also like I'm just a decent yes, I'm a messy husband, but I'm a decently clean person. I want to wear my shoes in the house. So I just don't remember that being like a rule at home. But I had friends who like would leave boxes on the front porch and be like, take your shoes off, or like
yeah,
offer you shoe covers, or places that were beautiful but did not feel welcoming. And I've never wanted that. And this was just the complete opposite. And
yeah,
so I'm trying to like figure out what those little things are that feel like that, how I can translate them. Like what makes it feel so welcoming. I don't know. I haven't put my finger on it yet.
well, I don't know that this, I don't think it's one thing that you can put your
No.
finger on. It's just, and I think it goes back to the idea of like slow decorating that people are talking about so much right now, too.
Yes.
Instead of just like, oh, I'm going to go get 15 pieces of art at Home Goods and,
Right.
whatever, which there's nothing wrong with doing stuff
No.
from Home Goods at all. But, just over time,
Right.
it feels like
But
you. I also think that I'm trying to say this in a way that's delicate. I feel like to make your home feel like you have to not care about rules,
okay.
about decorating rules. Now,
I
I'm
like
not
it.
saying like rules of design, don't follow those, but I think you have to be willing to put things in your house that don't match necessarily
Mhm.
or that just like things that you love. I don't know how to explain this very well, but put the thing where somebody else that's maybe not the conventional place to put the thing.
Yeah.
Um I'm trying to think of a good example.
What about a plate wall?
Well, you know how I love a plate wall.
Yes. But do you feel like it's strictly in a dining zone?
No, I do
Me
not.
neither. Are
I
you
think
in
you
the
can.
Facebook group that I'm in about decorating? Because there was a post last night that I saw with a chat GPT rendering that was beautiful.
Oh, I don't think I saw that. I might be in that group. I'm in several of those kind of groups. Um, but I didn't see that particular one.
Just so much
Um,
of the feedback where people are saying like, oh, well, you can't like the AI generated a plate wall that was gorgeous
Yeah.
over this like dog crate piece of furniture because that's
Yeah.
what specifically what this woman was asking for. And everyone was like, "Oh, well, you don't want to do a plate wall not in a dining room or a kitchen." And I was like, I will put plates wherever I want them. I
Yeah.
love a plate wall.
I even growing up, I remember in high school. So my parents moved houses when I was a junior in high school. And so I got to decorate my room, which of course was my favorite thing.
Yeah.
And I had blue and white plates on my wall in my bedroom
I love that.
because I've loved blue and white forever.
There you go.
And I had pink walls. Like, okay, do you remember Runts candy?
Yes.
Do you remember the heart-shaped pink ones? This color was that color. That was the color of my walls with my blue and white plates.
I bet that was so pretty.
Perfect, like corally kind of warm pink.
I love that. Okay,
I love it.
what other rules? Gracious, are you ready?
I don't know. Going back to the plate wall, I have a massive plate wall in my house, and it is in my like dining area. But when we moved in this house, all of the walls had just been painted the exact same, like kind of neutral whitish gray, which is fine. But I like a lot of color. And then this office, we painted this green, which I also love. But I needed a way to bring in color because I just did. So I started doing this sort of like abstract plate wall as I was collecting different plates with ones I had, and then of course gave me a good reason to collect more, which I did. Um, and they don't all match. They're not all sets, like they're different sizes, they're different, but they all kind of they work together. Um, and I remember one time in a Facebook group like that, somebody was asking about play walls or like show me your play walls or something. So I posted a picture of my plate wall, and a lot of people didn't like it. Not a lot of people, but some people, a handful of people didn't like it. They were like, it's too busy, it's too this, it's too.
Like, no.
And I was like, well, that's great, but you don't live here, and I love this, and it brings me joy every day.
Exactly.
But a lot of people loved it. They were like, oh my gosh. But it's also a great conversation starter.
For sure.
But I think it's just something that adds a little bit of character into a space. And I think that's maybe that's what I mean when things like break the rules, things don't have to match. That's where you get character.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other rules or other things
I think
that
character is such a good word though. And I think
yeah,
that so many new build homes just don't have that. It's so hard to add character into a new build.
yeah,
Like it's just hard.
it is hard. Because it feels like perfect. Maybe
Yeah.
that's not quite the right word, but
It doesn't feel lived in. It doesn't
no.
feel homey. I do think I was thinking about what you said about buying a bunch of art from Home Goods. I feel like if you were ready to do something, you could always go do that and use them as placeholders. But
Yeah.
know that, like, I think that I would really rather thrift something to go here or look on Facebook Marketplace or maybe just I don't know. I just think that there's something to be said for placeholders. And that there's also something to be said for, like, just hold on. I'm trying to collect my thoughts. I think I would rather have a placeholder than an empty wall.
Yeah.
But I also want to look. I'm not going to let that stop me from finding the perfect piece.
Right.
Does that
I
make any
think
sense?
yes, it makes sense. I think you're talking about layers, right?
Yeah, so
Like
many layers.
you move into a house, everything's blank, nothing's quite right. You go to Home Goods and you find these placeholders, or think of them as like a first layer.
Yes.
And then you add to them, you add the thrifted things, you move things around, you change out pictures, or you change out the mats or whatever. And it creates that more layered look.
It does. I love a layer in haircuts and in home decor.
Yes.
You need them.
Haircuts and home decor. Okay, well, I think this is a good way to transition into our Nancy talk for today.
Yes, please.
Because we are talking about Nancy's interiors. And I think maybe next time we can get back to our Nancy heroines.
Yes, there's so many. We cannot forget about them, but we do.
So many. But I don't know about you. I haven't had time to watch any movies right now because life is too busy in
December.
Maycember. Hopefully, by the time this comes out, everyone's Maycember will have calmed down a little bit.
Amen.
I seriously have something every day extra on the calendar, just kids school related.
No.
It's a lot. It's a
No.
lot. One school's out, so one down, two to go.
You can make it. You've got this.
We've got, I think, a week and a half approximately. We're ready.
We're ready. We're ready.
We're ready. Um, so today we're going to talk a little bit about what makes Nancy Meyers' style so iconic. Do you have lots of thoughts on this?
Do you have lots of thoughts on this?
Me too. I feel like we've kind of talked about him a lot already.
We have.
Um,
But wait, no, we are talking about Miss Nancy, who basically defined aspirational living on screen. And I think that all of us have seen her movies and go, I want to live in that movie set. And I love that there's so many different types of homes that she has. Like they all have a very distinct style, but sometimes she's in California, sometimes she's in the Hamptons, like or in New York. It doesn't matter. I understand that the Hamptons are also in New York. I meant the city, but it just feels so good. So we think that there's like 5 things that really make her style truly iconic and why we're so obsessed with them. So I'm going to list them out, but then we're going to like go actually into them.
yeah,
So we have a dream kitchen, layered livable interiors, elevated neutrals, um, independent stylish women, which is not really in her house, but those women are in the house and they
we
in
are.
theory created these homes.
Right.
And then romanticizing your everyday because that what we've always talked about and how much we love that she's made her coffee cups special. She's made your breakfast, your dinner, whatever you're doing. Maybe you're scrubbing the toilet, but if it's a really beautiful toilet, like you feel a little bit better about things. So let's talk about the dream kitchen.
Okay. About dream kitchens.
Yes, let's talk about them. I feel like her through lines, there's generally some marble, some butcher blocks. She's always got pots and pans hanging up, which I don't know how I feel about practicality wise, but they make for really pretty sets.
It does make for a really pretty set. I love a pot rack over an island. It's not something I've ever had to actually like live with, so I can't speak to the function of it either, but it looks beautiful
It does look
in a
beautiful.
photo and on screen.
But I do think about like how nasty my vent hood gets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if my pots that I'm using are living above my vent hood, are you washing your pot before you use it and then
Yeah.
after you use it?
I, I guess the theory is that you're using them so frequently that they aren't sitting there getting really dirty,
True.
right?
Very true. I do love it's a very cozy feel though.
It is a very cozy feel. I love they're usually copper, of course.
I love the copper.
And there is nothing more warm and inviting than copper in a kitchen,
Mhm.
except for possibly butcher block, which you mentioned. I love butcher block.
Mhm.
It's beautiful, it's warm, it looks great.
It feels so good. Yeah.
It does.
And the marble countertops, I feel like you and I are both in the non-marble countertop phase of our life right now.
Yeah.
They're very hard to upkeep, and I'm very, very thankful that we have lots of options that are very similar to marble.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, but right now I'm very happy with my quartzite countertop. They're kind of bulletproof. But yes, the marble, the materials. You know, I remember when my parents built a house when I was in college, and my mom picked out this beautiful granite back when granite was like the really big thing. It was Santa
Yeah.
Cecilia. It was this like brown, speckled, beautiful granite. And we didn't know what to do with it. We'd never had it before. And I think was it the night we moved in? I don't know. We put a pizza box on the granite before we sealed it. And there was a spot where it was darker. And you could
Because it
tell
absorbed.
because it absorbed the grease from the pizza box. And it was really unfortunate. And she was so upset about it. And I kind of had this reaction to it first off, I wasn't paying for the house, so I didn't quite. I Now I understand why she was so upset about it, and I would also be really upset about it. But I was like, it's stone. It's supposed to like show lived in
Yeah.
signs. Like it's fine. But it was not good. But anyway, when you look into the kitchen from the stairs, the island was a completely different color because we cooked on it and we lived in it and we ate it. We ate at the island all the time. But I do just think that it adds to the layers and it adds to someone lives here and kind of two different theories here. So if you're someone that has nothing on the countertops and you want nothing out and you want them absolutely pristine, I don't even know if pristine is the right word, almost cold to
Yeah.
me, then you're really going to notice the difference, even though it's the same marble or same granite, but different because of where you've worked on it or not. But when you have the layers and the lamps and the cookbooks and the cutting boards and all of the things, like you don't notice it as much because it's just kind of lived in those layers. And I think that that's part of what makes it special and feel like a home and feel like you can use it because you're not having someone in the kitchen go, no, don't do this.
Yeah.
That really detracts from a like welcoming atmosphere.
Yeah. Because your kitchen is a workspace. I
It's a
mean,
workspace
when it comes down to it,
constantly.
it is a workspace. It is not, it should not be, it's not a showpiece. Like,
Right.
that doesn't mean it can't be beautiful.
Right.
But if you have a kitchen that you can't cook in
Right.
or make memories around the island,
Right. And no hate if
then
you don't cook and you want to order everything in, but that's not my life.
no.
I, I'm going to be cooking and coming in the summer being chief snack officer, I'm going to be cooking a lot.
Yes. Okay, can I go down a little bit of a rabbit hole here
Please.
and talk about summer and being chief snack officer? So my kids and I came up with a plan the other day that we are going to once a week, they are going to be in charge of picking a new recipe,
Okay.
like a full new meal, like a full dinner and dessert.
Wow.
I agreed to dessert because it was really the motivation behind the whole
Yeah.
thing. And
Yes.
who doesn't want dessert?
Right.
But my main goal here is to A, give my kids something to do and look forward to. B, they're going to be like learning more stuff in the kitchen, which they love to make stuff in the kitchen. We don't do it often enough, but anytime we do, they love it. And what was the
That was
first
B. That was B.
did I say to get them to eat more things?
Nope. Just so they're excited about it.
That is C, to get them to actually try some other foods.
I love that.
Because I
Um,
cannot make butter noodles anymore.
D takes dinner off your plate one night.
Yes. I mean, I'll still have to do the grocery ordering
Oh,
and
of course.
stuff,
I just meant
but
figuring out what to eat because that is a really hard part.
yes,
Is what to
they
eat.
can pick it.
I love
Um,
that.
and it just gives us something to do also because summer can feel a little like lost time
Yeah,
sometimes.
there's not a lot of schedule to it.
Yeah. Um, I'm going to try to do better about having a schedule this summer, but
Yes. I told them we're going to have a snack schedule because I can't stand the constant, I'm hungry, I want something to eat. I'm like, no, you're bored. Like, I
yeah,
get it. I want to eat when I'm bored too. But like, we need to find other things to do. So we're going to
yeah,
have like, this is the time that we eat breakfast. This is the time that we eat a snack. This is the time that we eat lunch. I've also tried like making a whole snack board. Like, you have the muffin tins. Have you seen that?
yes, I've done that
And I'm
before.
like, you can eat whatever you want, but when it's empty, it's empty. I'm not refilling it. And then eat it by like 9:30.
Yeah,
And they're not responsible enough for that. And I don't
yeah.
know if any kids actually responsible enough for that.
No, probably not. I feel like that kind of thing works really great if you're out, like for an outing or on a road trip.
Yeah,
Then, like the snackle box situation or the muffin tin is great.
right.
But at home, it's hard.
Yes, it is hard. But
I do love a snack lunch in the summer for
oh,
kids where you
yes,
just like make a board.
girl dinner,
Yeah.
your
And I'm
lunch.
like, this is lunch. Take what you want.
Hmm.
So
I love that.
that's always fun. But I'm hoping that will like encourage more
We can
kitchen
make it a
memories.
series and talk about how you're
Okay.
letting them do this and then
Okay.
what they're learning, what their reactions are, have them rate the food.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
This is
I need
fun.
you to be my social media like motivator because I never do it.
Listen, it's hard.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe so.
next up, out of our dream kitchen, what
Out of
we
our
now
dream
think is
kitchen.
the workhorse of the house,
Yes.
the
The
dream
place
kitchen.
where the homemade croissants are made by Meryl Streep.
Or you get the Publix croissants and put them into your
Mhm.
pretty cake stand.
Yes. Or
Publix makes really good croissants, by the way.
I was gonna say I'm a huge Costco croissant fan.
Yes, me too. But I don't need to buy like 50 croissants because I will eat them all.
Well, I don't get a chance to eat them all because my boys eat them all in like 4 seconds.
They're so good. Costco
Now,
bacon is delicious.
can we talk about how to say croissant? Because I feel like this is a pronunciation nightmare.
Listen, that is one of my biggest icks as a human is when someone speaks with a completely American accent and then throws in a
Croissant.
non-American word. Oh, croissant.
Croissant.
I cannot stand it. Or
Um,
mozzarella. No, it's mozzarella, people. I don't like it. If you have an accent, amazing, have an accent. But
yes,
if you do not, that
it's a
word doesn't have,
croissant.
it's a croissant. I'm sorry.
If you are from Alabama, it is a croissant.
Yes, and let me tell you, there's a difference between a croissant and a crescent roll. Those
Yes,
aren't
there
the
is.
same. Those are not the same. But
Not
it's
even
not a
close.
croissant. Like it's just not.
No. I saw this really funny meme today that said a macaroon is just an Oreo that was a foreign exchange student.
That as I've eaten like 30 of those this week. We bought the Costco ones.
Oh, are they good?
They're delicious.
Okay, I feel like macaroons are going to be on the summer meal making list because my daughter has wanted to make them for like a year.
That's gonna require some prep.
Yeah, I don't
You
know if
need
I'm
the sheets and like it needs you need the proper materials to make those.
okay. I'll do some research.
Yeah. I
Okay.
love that we have the same ick though. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, we've already ticked this off a lot, talking not
we
taking
have.
but livable layered interiors. And we
Yes.
talked about that is how you collect things as you go. And you're like, yeah, I got this from here, I got
Hmm.
that from there, and I love this. And everything has a story. It's like a tattoo. Like,
Yeah.
tell me about this trinket bowl. Where did you find it? Where did you get it? I want to hear all of the things. What do you keep in it? Do you change it out seasonally? Like, I want to hear the story of your house or your
Yes.
home when I come to it.
Um, and I have a thing about layering. If you don't like know where to start layering, print family photos and put them in frames. I think that is the best and most simple way to start telling your story and layering in your house because it just automatically gives character, it automatically gives ownership to the space. Like it makes
Yes.
it yours because your people are in it.
Yeah. I do have a hot take that's controversial.
Oh, let's hear it.
I do not like the giant family photos on the wall.
Like giant.
Like the farmhouse, like when
Yeah.
people got the canvases of their children made, like that's not interior design style.
Yes.
I also don't love I currently have them on my stairs and I'm trying to figure out something else to put there. I don't love using family photos in place of art. I want to layer them on a side table or
Yeah.
a coffee table or on a buffet or on a shelf. I don't want them on the wall.
Okay.
And like I said, I currently have them on I know. I'm just not looking at those.
I'm
It's
just
fine.
kidding.
But also I feel like an office is kind of different because to me it
Yeah.
feels like a pen board. It's not a pen board, but it feels more
It's
I
different.
don't know. It is different. But I don't love the like we're in our entryway and here are these massive canvas style photos of my children. Now, if
Yeah.
that is your style, that's fine. You're allowed to have that. That's just my
Yeah.
personal, I don't prefer that.
Yes, I'm with you. I like smaller photos hanging on the wall or on a table. I'm fine with.
In a beautiful frame
Yes.
story. And I love a candid photo.
Me too.
Like, and maybe I'm just too cheap for like fancy photography.
No, there's a place for both.
There are places for both, but I love a candid photo in a beautiful frame.
Because they tell your story.
Yes, and they show personality.
Yeah.
It couldn't be mistaken for the like stock image that comes in the frame.
Yes.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I do too. One of my favorite photos that I have hanging on my wall, I'm just kidding, is of Walter several years ago. And he has Blanky, which is his blanket that he's had since he was a baby. And when he gets tired, he puts Blanky all over his head. So he has Blanky like over his head and he has Passy in his mouth. And he's just like, it's just him.
That's adorable.
Cute.
That's perfect, and it tells your story.
Yes.
But
Some
I
of my
just
other favorite candid pictures are like my kids when they were really small laying on the grass, like doing the stand above them picture, and they're just like kind of rolling in the grass, but smiling and laughing.
Mhm.
Those are super fun pictures to grab.
Kennedy will like give you a stone cold face if you try to take a picture of her. So all growing up, I mean, she's still growing up, but when she was really little and I'm trying to take a photo of her, like now she will smile and appease me. But I would say, tell me a story. And
Uh-huh.
then she would open her mouth and her eyes would get really big and she'd get really animated. And I would just be like snapping away as fast as I could. And some of them come out weird, but a lot of them like
Yeah.
show her animation and her life and her
Yeah.
charisma because she is the kid that's going to look at you and be like, this is stupid. I'm
Yeah.
not taking a photo.
Yeah.
I'm not having a good time. I'm not going to pretend like I'm having a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas Colin was very much like, geez, like whatever you want me to do. And Kennedy's just like, no, like this is dumb. So
Yeah.
I would say, hey, tell me a story, or tell me about your favorite ice cream, or tell me about that slide we just went down. And then she would just like her whole
That's
disposition
such
would change.
a good tip.
Yeah,
Such a good
it
tip.
was really, really helpful.
Um,
I did that a lot.
But I do think having photos in your home is a great way to layer. And books. We
Books.
should mention that because I'm a huge book person.
Mhm.
Um, and a huge like coffee table book person.
I love coffee table books.
But just having something about the texture of the different covers, the different colors,
Mhm.
the pages. I I love like deckled edge. Do you like a deckled edge page? Yeah, I love that texture. Um, but yeah, I think that's also a great way to layer. I love to layer books and photos together.
Same.
Use
Give
those
me
books as like a little riser.
a little stack of books with a
So
little
good.
frame on top of it. Yes,
I
please.
also
Sign
love
me
a
up.
collection of different shaped and color frames.
Yes.
Again, with the not
100%.
matching. I think
Yeah.
not matching might be my signature.
hmm
Going
We're gonna
together.
we're gonna call it collected.
It's collected.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
you didn't just go buy every frame that looked exactly the same in all the different
No. It's okay. It's really funny that we're having this conversation because no kidding, yesterday I have like 6 square photos on this wall, like the outside of this wall here,
Mhm.
and they are of my kids. And I think they're 8x8 photos in square frames, and the frames all match. And yesterday my husband walked by and he was like kind of straightening them, and I was looking at it because it drew my attention to it. And I was like, I'm kind of not loving that there because it is very matchy. It's very symmetrical. And
Right.
I like symmetry. I think there is a major place for symmetry, but symmetry can be achieved while not being exactly matching.
Balance can be
It's
achieved.
balance and
Yes.
weight.
Yes.
Um,
I
so
love that.
anyway, so that wall I don't know what I'm gonna do there, but it may get a change at some point.
Well, I will say I had a conversation recently with somebody because she asked me my opinion. She was like, "What frame should I get?" Because she was having family portraits framed on her wall. And she's been very open about wanting to lean more into like a Nancy type style. So I said I probably wouldn't do that. I might pick a really pretty piece of art and then put a table underneath it because it was in a walkway, but you can get very narrow tables.
Yeah.
To have something to then layer your frames on. But she was like, no, I want frames on my wall. What frame should I get? I'm like, that's cool. It's your house. I will give you my best advice. So what I told her to do was to look at her floor because she had hardwood floor underneath it. So I think that you
Oh,
want to match your frame to your floor, at least in tone. So I was like, if it's cool toned wood, get a cool toned frame. If it's warm toned wood, get a warm toned frame if you want it to kind of look cohesive. Because you don't, at least to me, you don't want like those gray wood, like fake wood
yeah,
floors that were very, very popular.
yeah,
And then like a orangey undertoned wood
yeah,
frame. Almost like, well, this one.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, yeah.
that was my advice to her. I was like, just keep your tones similar. And I'm also a really big fan of a big mat. Like
Yes,
bigger mat, maybe smaller photo. And then, some people are like, no, I want to see my photos. And like, that's cool too. But I think that that gives it a more artful feel than the, like I said, the really major ick of the canvas of your children.
yes,
Um, but anyway, that's my tip of if you're gonna go with you're like, I want these frames, I'm gonna make this gallery wall. More power to you if that's what you want and that's how you feel it's gonna make you happy, because that's all that matters in design
yeah.
is that it makes you happy. But I would choose something that matches in tone to the rest of
I
your.
like that too. I'm also a big fan of like these back here, like an acrylic or a glass frame. I wish
Oh,
you
I
could see
love
the ones
acrylic.
up here. I love the ones I have hanging up here. I'll have to post a picture.
Thank
They
you.
are like like a very tiny brass
Ooh,
frame and they're glass and they have like a chain. That's dog hair. Wow. Golden Retriever life.
I love it.
Um, and they have like a gold chain that they hang on.
Oh, I would love that.
I love them so much. So the photo or art or whatever you're going to put in them is floating, but it
Hmm.
looks really good in here with the green walls because it's
Oh,
almost
I
like
love
it's matted in the green. And
right.
I have old black and white family photos in them that are of my grandparents.
That's amazing.
Um, and I love them so much because the photos are they're each like a similar perspective.
Hmm.
Um, so one is of my grandfather who owned like a service station. And so he is one of several people sitting at this like big conference table. And they all have on like their uniform, but it's like visually like in art class. You remember in art class when you would draw the dot and you would have to like draw the thing out
Yes,
from it with the square? I don't know what that's called. There's a name for that
yes.
perspective.
Like you're learning how to draw a cube.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
Whoa!
Like, but like
Golden Retriever hair went right in front of the camera.
it's everywhere. If anyone is listening and you have a golden retriever, please tell me what to do with all this fur because it is so overwhelming.
I want one though. It's next
They
summer.
are the best dogs. I will not tell you not to get one. They're
Yeah.
very, very, very sweet. She's the sweetest girl, despite her
Oh,
barking and hair. But basically just you just live with a layer of golden retriever hair
there you go.
everywhere because it is terrible. Anyway, it's like forced perspective. I think that's what it's
Maybe.
called.
That's a yes.
Um, so both of these photos have that sort of forced perspective look to them. One is all these men sitting at like a conference table, and then the other one is my grandmother in high school when she was a cheerleader, and they're in like a V formation on the stairs, and she's the one in the center. Anyway, that is more information than you needed, but I
I
think
want to see them.
so beautiful in these frames. I need you to it's really hard to get a photo of them because they're hanging above a window.
Yeah.
So it makes it really hard to get a good picture, but I will
Yeah.
send you one.
I will caveat that, like we were talking about, the office. An office is a great place to hang a bunch of family photos,
Yes.
to hang them on the
Especially
wall.
if your business is photo related.
That is definitely, it comes in handy. But I do
It
think that
does.
it's like a space to be creative and a space that even more so defies kind of everything. And you want to fill it with things that make it feel really like you. And then you want to see
Yeah.
it make you extra super smile.
It's a
And
very personalized
yes,
space.
it is.
Yeah.
So I'll,
And
I'll
it's
I'll
not,
walk back on that one. But I just don't think that your foyer needs a 3 foot canvas of your.
no.
I just don't.
I agree. I
You know
agree.
what? I need to stop being worried about putting my opinions on the internet because I'm like the least problematic person.
You are allowed to have your opinion and somebody else is allowed to disagree
Right?
with it.
Right?
It's fine.
Even if I try to be controversial, it doesn't ever work out. It sounds really stupid, but it doesn't. No
Dog.
one ever cares.
The dog.
I should make a rage bait video about that
You should. That would be
and like
great.
what to do instead, or
But
what I think that you should do instead.
I try to be controversial, but um okay, so then let's should we do the go to the our third thing?
Yep, let's do it.
Elevated neutrals and timeless fashion.
Love it.
Diane Keaton forever. We love a linen pant. We
Yes.
love a bucket hat. We love a button down shirt.
Yes, we do.
We love a leather flip flop.
Oh, I wore them today.
Yep.
They're so good. I think that these fabrics are, for the most part, like natural fabrics. So they breathe and you feel good in them. And when you feel good, you look good.
Yep.
That's just my hot take on it. And I think that
Yep.
it doesn't have to be a $500 sweater. It can be an
Nope.
Old Navy sweater. But if
Yep.
it's cotton, you're gonna feel good in it.
Yep.
Um, and I think that that's what makes it elevated is not it doesn't have to be the price tag. Like
No.
the finishes on things and how things are stitched. Have we talked about the please don't buy that TikTok?
No, I don't think so.
So this girl, she either does or used to work in garment like manufacturing. And so
Okay.
she specifically she buys influencer brands and breaks them down, which is absolutely fascinating to me. And she's like, this shirt that you're paying $80 for probably cost $4 to make.
Yeah.
But she talks about the details that I don't know if we would necessarily know. Like, you know that it feels good, but you don't know why. So she talks about like flat seams, or I think it's called a French seam, where like the raw edges are sewn down and then those two pieces are sewn together.
Yes.
Um, I love it when I shouldn't love it, but I do when she pulls out an item and there's like loose threads everywhere, and she's like, "What are you people doing? Like, trim these loose threads."
Yeah.
But anyway, she's just given me so much knowledge on what to look for in things that are well made. Doesn't have to be expensive, but fabric quality, materials that are used. Um, I know that a lot of brands are like touting sustainability when they talk about like so many water bottles are in these pair of leggings, but like, do you really want to wear plastic?
Right.
Like, it's plastic, and that's weird. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Give me some cotton, give me some linen,
Yep.
um, and I'm gonna take good care of it, and I'm gonna feel good
Yep.
because I'm not disgusting.
Yep.
Does that make any sense?
It makes total sense. I also read something. I think I was researching workout clothes, like leggings specifically. Yeah, I read something about like there are some like synthetic materials that are okay to wear like
Oh,
that
sure.
close to your body for
Yeah,
extended periods of time.
right.
But there are a lot of them that like you don't want that on your body for this
No.
amount of time. I need to go back and look at it. But it was stuff like I can't, oh gosh, I can't remember. I think it was like nylon was really okay, or no, I'd have to go back and find it. But
Yeah.
anyway,
We should ask ChatGPT for a good breakdown.
we
But
should. It was
I just,
really interesting.
yeah, the elevated neutrals though is so true, and they're in all of Nancy's movies and the characters. But I think it just comes down to they're elevated because they're made well,
Yes.
and like we need to look for made well things.
Yes.
Not the store. Made well does make things well,
They do.
but
They do.
I think that you can go any price point and look at something that's cut well.
Yes.
Um, the girl that I was talking about a minute ago, she would bring out these t-shirts and like the back would be so much longer, or like the neckline was like cut wonky. She even had some where she would like fold them this way and the sleeves didn't match. Like, come on, people. You're not gonna feel good in that.
No.
Or like even like where the seams go like across your shoulders. There's so much that goes into things that you're like, it shouldn't be that hard to make a shirt. Well, no, but there's just things that you don't know or that go
Yeah.
on behind the scenes that make something your favorite t-shirt that you don't even realize. So she
Yes.
kind of teaches you like things to look for because that's what's going to make it elevated and make you feel good.
I love that. I need to check that out for sure.
And I do love
Please
happy
don't
shop.
wear that or please don't buy that.
Please don't buy that.
Please don't buy that.
Hmm. That's what it's really interesting.
Because it does get very disheartening if you're like I feel like most of us at this point are we're like scrolling through Instagram or TikTok or whatever and finding things that are really cute that you're like, oh, I would love that dress or I would love this, whatever. And
Hmm.
then like if you click on it and you see the materials, a lot of times I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna wear that 100%
Right.
polyester
Like,
dress.
no, it's
I
marketed so
will
well,
have a heat
but
stroke.
yeah, but I don't want to wear that.
I don't want to wear that. No.
Yesterday, though, I got these. I think that they're like a linen, no, they're like a muslin feel.
Yes.
They feel like a baby blanket. And
Yes.
I love them so very much. And they're these brown pants, and they're wonderful.
Oh, are these the
Uh,
ones from your wantable that you
yes,
talked
they're from
about
my
last week?
Wantable box. Um, I wanted to wear them yesterday to my like garden shoot, but I was afraid that I was gonna get like sweaty and have like
Like marks. Yeah.
so I went athleisure for that because I didn't want to be sweaty in brown pants and look like I peed my pants.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. The things that we have to think about, you know,
Yes. So there are definitely times and places for like athleisure things, but
definitely.
I still want to look cute. The tennis dress that I went with had scalloped edges on it,
So good.
so it felt elevated, and it was
Yes.
navy, a good neutral.
It's really cute.
My favorite dark neutral. I love
Yep.
navy.
Me too. Can't get enough of it.
Nope.
Can't get enough of it. All right. Number four.
Number four, independent, stylish women. So, yes, we're still doing our deep dives on these characters, but as a whole, I just love these women that they have such perspective on the world and
Yep.
they're going to share it with you or us as the viewer. And I love that.
Well, and they are iconic not only because they are stylish, sort of in their own right, but because of the things that they do, that they can bake croissants from scratch on a whim, or they can, um, there's always something I feel like that they can cook. Maybe I'm too focused on the food, but I feel like Diane Keaton and Something's Gotta Give. I think it's pancakes. She's like, these are my famous pancakes. But it's not really about the pancakes. It's about the memory of making them like for her daughter or for her family or
Right.
whatever.
And taking the
Um,
time to do something
right.
well.
And these women are always creative in some way. They're writers or screenwriters or directors or
I love the creativity.
chefs or whatever. Um,
Hmm. Yep.
so yeah, I think that's also what makes them iconic.
They're so iconic.
They're also layered,
They are.
not just the spaces, the people are layered
The people are layered.
because that's how
No, go ahead.
real people are.
They
We're
are.
all layered,
No, Chad and
just
I
like
had this
Shrek.
conversation. Just like Shrek. No, like a parfait. No, like an onion. Everyone loves a parfait. Love Shrek. So we were watching this show this week. We finished it because I can't not finish it. It's called The Seasons. I don't remember. He's the one that pulled it up on the TV. I don't know what streaming platform it comes on, but it's written by Tina Fey. And it's about adult couples who go on like quarterly holidays together.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of about them. And it was I don't want to say it was a very good show. I enjoyed it to pass the time. But like I said, I had to finish it because I had to finish it. But I think that my biggest issue with it, and the same thing we've talked about the new suits, I didn't care about the characters. The writing, you only saw what was happening right in front of you. And this might sound dumb, but maybe it's missing the layers because you see their conversations, but you don't know the backstories and you didn't have the time to develop these characters as individuals. They're just all there as people. And I think that Nancy does such a good job of giving these characters like depth and
Yes.
layers, and you care about them instantly. And I
Yeah.
don't know if it's just me getting older, but I'm having a really hard time caring about characters these days. And I
Well,
don't know why, but she does it so well.
I have theories.
Oh, please tell me.
I think it's a symptom of our fast-paced culture. I
Yeah.
think it's just, evidence of that. And I think to I mean, maybe that show's not trying to appeal to a younger audience. I don't know, but I think
It's definitely
that
not.
we're we're just so attuned to quickly do it to short form
Right.
that that's just how things are leaning.
Right.
And people are like, well, I don't have time to dive into, all the feelings of this character.
Right.
Um, but
And
I
it's an
think
eight
we're,
episode series. Like, surely, and I can appreciate the also that everything is filmed in the holiday that they're on.
yeah,
Like, I don't know. I'm not the writer. I don't know if it's done through flashbacks or side conversations or something, but give me something more to like, why do I care about, like, for example, Tina Fey drives their car when she's in the car with her husband. She's always driving the car, and she seems to be some sort of um like powerhouse woman.
yeah.
You don't actually know what she does. Like, you never learn what
Oh,
she does or why, like, why is she always driving the car? Why is she making the decisions? Um, I want to know what is her occupation? You do find out that another guy is like some sort of construction designer of some sort. But still, like, I want to know.
yeah,
Tell me about these characters. I just think that Nancy does such a good job with these women. You want to like them, you want to root for them, you know about them, and the
yeah,
way that she tells their stories is just really beautiful.
yes, agreed.
And we need more of that.
And that I think that goes with her writing as well, because she does write a lot of the scripts, I think.
Yeah. And like,
Um,
and the books, like we talked about books, you have so
mhm.
many pages as you want to describe these characters and give them an internal monologue and make us like them and make us root for them.
Yeah,
But these independent, stylish women, she has written them so well, and we care about
she
them.
has.
Like, even Meredith Blake, even though you want to hate her, I still care about her.
Exercising the everyday. I think my voice is, I think it's going.
It's giving up the ghost.
It's given up. So we gotta, I think we're gonna
Okay,
have to wrap it up.
we will. We'll put a quick little button on this one, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
So, yes, she's romanticizing every day. Every cup of coffee should be your favorite cup of coffee.
Yes. I think about every time they're like visiting a market or a farmer's market or a grocery store um in a Nancy movie, it feels very romanticized. Again, to the food. It's I don't know, it's all about the food for me,
The
apparently.
sets are styled so beautifully. Like,
They are.
we don't have grocery stores that look like that here. I mean, Trader Joe's is going to be probably your closest,
Yeah.
but they just don't.
Yeah.
Our markets don't look like that, but you can
No.
pretend they do. You can wear your cute dress and dress up and do it for yourself and go grocery shopping and,
Yeah.
you know.
But I think the fresh flowers, we have talked about flowers ad nauseum
I will
on
never
this
not
because
talk
we
about
love
flowers.
them.
No. I told you about the rose that I ordered my mom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was so excited about it.
Oh
I was
no.
I it's going to be fine. But
Okay.
I got my shipping notification. I was like so excited about it. I when I picked up the box, I was like, this thing is not very heavy. What's happening? Whatever. There's supposed to be two rose plants in here. I opened them up. They look like dead rose plants. I accidentally bought bare root roses. They're not dead. We're going to plant them. They're going to be beautiful. But I definitely thought that I was buying something that was going to be pretty. It is not currently pretty. I'm like, how am I supposed to give this to my mother for Mother's Day that looks like a dead plant? So they are currently soaking in water, which is what we're supposed to. And then
Okay.
I've got to get a pot and soil. Like, I thought that I was just going to be able to put it in the ground and be happy, but they have to live in a pot until the fall, is what
Okay.
the thing says.
But you found some beautiful pots when you
I
were
did find some beautiful pots,
shopping.
but those are for work, and I bought all of the ones that our at home had.
Oh, were they from at
So
home?
yes, so I have to go back and find
Oh,
more. Yes, I need to put them in a pot for the next 6 months or so until I can put them in the ground.
Depot has had some pretty pots.
That's where I got my hydrangeas for work. They were beautiful. So it will be fine. But it was just so anticlimactic when I opened this, and I'm like, this looks like a dead bush in a box. It's fine. It's not dead. It's just a bare root rose. And the internet has assured me that it's going to be fine and that it's a perfectly acceptable way to transport them and to buy them and to plant them.
Okay.
But I just didn't realize that's what I was buying.
It's more of a science experiment than you wanted.
It's a little bit more DIY than I was signed up for. I love it. But you know what? We are
Goodness.
going to grow these roses and we're going to romanticize the crap out of them.
Yes. Oh, I have another romanticizing the everyday
So
thing.
tell me.
This is like a real life application.
I love it. I'm here.
Use your good dishes.
Use your good dishes.
Use your good
Please,
dishes.
people.
Now I cannot say that I am technically good at this because we never use our wedding china.
Yeah.
But and that's not because I'm like saving it for anything.
I
But
just
we
don't like
have
my china.
yes, there's that. I'm with you. It's just
But,
like mine is just white with a silver rim.
but buy the dishes that you like.
Yes.
Preferably get them that are microwave and dishwasher safe just to make your life
Yes.
easier. But use them.
Yes. So I bought myself Blue Willow a few years ago.
Oh,
And I love it. We use it every day.
yep.
And unpopular opinion, probably. We also use our crystal that we got as wedding gifts all the time.
Mhm.
And I let my children use it.
Now, I did stop with my wine
Anytime.
glasses because my crystal wine glasses are stunning and I love them. And I broke one because they're so thin. So
Oh,
I want to get some wine glasses that are not necessarily sentimental and use them in case like I'm all for using your stuff, but I definitely snapped it off in the dishwasher.
yeah. I would say none of ours are very thin. We have broken quite a few. We actually broke a few like last week. A couple got cracked somehow. I don't know what happened, but I let my kids use them. Because I'm like, what good are they doing? Just sitting in my cabinet.
Yeah, no,
It's
we
just a
use our
cup.
glasses that we enjoy, and
Yeah.
it just makes things better.
Yeah.
I want to go to the replacements yard sale. Have we talked about this?
No.
Okay, you know what replacements is? Okay,
Yes.
so if unlike Kate, you do not know what replacements is, it's a company out of I think it's in North Carolina.
I think
I always
so.
want to say South Carolina, but it's like right on the border. And they have like all of the back ordered, not back ordered, like even like discontinued
Yeah.
pieces of China. Anything you can imagine, you
Yeah.
can get it at replacements. Um, and they're just fantastic. Well, they have a yard sale. And I think it's in the spring, and they charge by the box. So people go and camp out overnight and you take your wagon with your boxes and you just fill it up. And they have really good stuff. Such good stuff. So I like in my dream world, I want a full set of cabbageware. Like real cabbageware, not the Target
Yes.
one. I loved my Target one. I'm not like I was really happy to get my cabbageware mug. It was a teacup, not mug, from Target, and it's a beautiful decoration, but I want the real cabbageware. And I
100%.
also want the burly Asiatic pheasant pattern.
Oh,
I
I have to
want
look this up.
I want all four colors because I want it to be mismatched, but it's all the same patterns. There's a pink and a blue and a green. Um, and I think there's a brown. I don't know if I need the brown. Anyway, that is my goal. Is I want to fill my cabinets with this and I want to
Mm-hmm.
use it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to be like that. That's my dream world. I found some really great Amazon ones. I shared them on my Instagram. That also make me happy in the meantime.
Yes.
They're my placeholders until I get my Burley.
Perfect.
That's gonna be an investment, but anyway, thank you very much for being here. But yes, this was this was fun to break
It's
down
fun.
specifically what we think about Nancy's houses and sets and why they feel so good. But also followed by some rabbit holes that we went down because it's us. And that's what you get when you
That's
listen to our podcast.
that's what we do. Yeah.
That is why we're here. Okay, let's see here. Oh, we keep forgetting this, but it's very important. If you like our podcast, please rate it and leave us a review because that tells the podcast world that you like it and then it shares it to other people. So that would mean so much to us.
So
If you could
much.
please rate it if you made it this far. If you've made it this far, you liked it, so you might as well give it a star. At least one.
At least one. Preferably all of the stars.
Yes. And we've got our Instagram. We're still working on building that out because, life.
Life is
But it's
lifey.
there.
Is
So
there.
you can DM us and tell us what you want us to talk about, or if you
Yes.
have questions, or if you have feedback, or if you think that I'm just stupid and terrible for hating on the giant child canvases. Let me have it. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Emily is ready to go to war on this controversy. She's ready.
No one else cares. But just for, so it's there. We've got an Instagram. You can find us there. Five
Yeah.
Up Society on Instagram. And here. We're so thankful that you're here.
Yes, we are. All right. Are we going to sign off with our signature? Can
I
we
love
do
it.
it?
I like this, what it's supposed to say. Until next time, keep it classic. But I love that. But yes, okay, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. But no,
Buttercup. Oh, that was the best one.
We did.
That was the best one. Okay, thanks
right.
for listening, guys. For
Thanks
real.
for listening.